Dr. Anthony Fauci, the White House's top infectious disease expert, warned of a surprise outbreak in a speech given 3 years before the global COVID-19 pandemic.
In his speech titled Pandemic Preparedness in the Next Administration, Dr. Fauci told attendees at Georgetown University in January 2017 that the upcoming presidential administration would face challenges with infectious diseases.
At the time, President Trump had taken office that month.
Fauci said, "If there's one message that I want to leave with you today that is based on my experience. There is no question that there will be a challenge for the coming administration in the arena of infectious diseases.
But also there will be a surprise outbreak. There is no doubt in anyone's mind, the administration will be faced with challenges their predecessors were faced with."
Dr. Fauci, who served under 5 presidential administrations, later added that he cautioned former President George W. Bush to be more concerned with a potential influenza pandemic than bioterrorism.
"I worry more about the natural occurrence of an influenza pandemic and the ongoing plague of HIV than I do about a bioterror attack," he said, adding that people should pay attention to natural causes.
In regards to the Trump administration, Fauci mentioned possible challenges that included a resurgence in the Zika virus or a new flu pandemic.
He said, "What is for sure, history has told us definitively that it will happen because infectious diseases are a perpetual challenge."
Like Dr. Fauci, other researchers and medical leaders have long discussed a novel, unprecedented illness that would permeate the world and leave lasting effects on global societies.
In 2015, Microsoft founder Bill Gates speculated in a TED Talk that illness would be the cause of future mass casualties, not wars.
If anything kills over 10 million people in the next few decades, it's most likely to be a highly infectious virus rather than a war. Not missiles, but microbes, he said, citing lessons learned from Western Africa's 2014 Ebola virus as reference.
But the parameters and specific characteristics of the illness were unclear before COVID-19 appeared in Wuhan, China, in late December.
Since its first appearance last year, there are over 1 million confirmed coronavirus cases and at least 64,000 deaths.
Although coronavirus initially devastated countries like China and Italy, the United States has become the world leader in confirmed cases at 311,632. At least 8,503 people have died.
National epicenters like New York have taken the brunt of the deadly pandemic amid a shortage in medical supplies, like face masks and gloves, and a lapse in COVID-19 testing.
New York State has seen a staggering 113,704 confirmed cases and a rising death toll of 3,565. The Big Apple accounts for 63,306 infections and 2,624 as of Saturday.
President Trump said Saturday that Americans should brace for lot of deaths in the upcoming weeks and that it will be a very horrendous time for the U.S.
But there will be death, he admitted before continuing to tout the use of the malaria drug, hydroxychloroquine, as a treatment.
This will probably be the toughest week, between this week and next week, Trump told reporters.
There will be a lot of death, unfortunately. But a lot less death than if this wasn't done, he added of the measures taken to prevent the spread of the virus.
Meanwhile, the pandemic has dealt blows to the world economy and, in the United States, the Dow Jones has stumbled amid financial uncertainties.
The number of Americans filing new claims for unemployment benefits last week has shot to a record 6.6 million, as layoffs increased amid the coronavirus pandemic and more states enforced stay-at-home orders.
New claims for unemployment benefits rose to 6.65 million in the week ending March 28, according to figures released by the Department of Labor on Thursday.
Those figures suggest the United States lost about 6% of its 152 million jobs in half a month.
The number of first-time applications for jobless benefits was double the previous record of 3.3 million new claims filed for the week ending March 21.
Critics of Trump's coronavirus response fear the United States will slide into a recession as businesses remain closed.
Trump signaled that it was a good idea to assemble a second coronavirus task force to come up with a plan to reopen the economy.
The president was responding to a Friday tweet from Dana Perino, the White House press secretary under President George W. Bush and current Fox News Channel host.
I think we need a second task force assembled at the direction of POTUS to look ahead to reopening of the economy, Perino wrote. Made up of a nonpartisan, bipartisan mix of experts across industry sectors, so that we have their recommendations and plan. Let first task force focus on crisis at the moment.
He previously pushed for an April 12 deadline to have Americans return to work, but settled for social distancing orders to continue through the end of the month.